This movie was specifically assassinated by all these critics so that black men and their sons would not take advantage of Father's Day and go see this movie. I implore all that's listening, if you have sons, if you have fathers, if you have brothers, whatever, go watch this movie, because I know after I done said everything that I said, now y'all eye can be wide open and y'all can see everything that's in there. Y'all going to catch stuff that I didn't even talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't catch everything, but I hope I did a good job decoding a decent portion of this film for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. Do we have, I don't know.
Bro, there's so many hands up.
The hands is up?
Yeah, I think we don't even gotta wait for them to go sit. We could start decoding right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
So do you have
Bring them on in.
Do you have any personal requests? Any other fellow decoders in the queue that you might want us to bring forward first?
Oh, well, I did talk with Clico. I don't know if he's out there or not, if he decided to listen tonight. But I did talk to him, and just like me, he peeped the Four Sons of Heru. We talked about it a few days ago. And
yeah, he just
okay. Yeah,
my
phone's getting low, but it's cool. He ended up peeping the Four Sons of Heru thing as well, and I know, for those of y'all that are out there listening, Clico is not just is he on the line before I even go into all this? Do you see him?
I don't see his hand up as of yet. No.
Okay. Well, if you're listening, go ahead and press 1, dude. If he does end up calling in, just letting y'all know, y'all can look him up on Facebook, View Clico. He's one of the only other Hollywood decoders out there that I really can rap with that's as crazy as me, and he helps me see things that I didn't even catch. It's powerful. So hopefully he does end up calling in the light to add to it. But we're gonna link up and do another one. I'm thinking he and I are gonna do Man and Steel together, Superman together. I talked to him, yeah. So we might end up doing that together. So hopefully. But, I don't know. If whoever got their hands up, bring them on in.
I see the Cosmo Physician.
Hold on. Yeah, definitely bring him in.
Hello? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I definitely have to give a shout out. We also have Decoding Royalty in the building. The brother LL05 Star.
Oh, where has he been?
LL525 Stars in the building.
Yeah, man. I like to holler at all of y'all and tell y'all that I take my previous statement back and say that I have to give it up to that brother as well. I haven't heard from him or seen him in a long time, but every time I've seen anything from him, he's always went in and went beyond.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Been on point.
Gotta give him
he's a legend. He's a legend.
Absolutely. Shout out to that brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bring them all in because I know they got something to add. Like I said, I didn't put everything down because we got only a certain amount of time. The rest is going to be in the book. And, I hope I stimulated enough folks to be like, yeah, let me get it in.
Yeah. Let's go to the Cosmo Crack. Call from the 516-881. Peace.
Peace, Lord. Peace, everybody.
Peace, Lord.
I love the dynamic and the perspective that you put on it, man, making all these connections. And the vehicle of expression that they use through symbolism is outrageous. And
thank you, brother.
I look at, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you,
sir. Yeah, I'm looking at it from the perspective of Will Smith's birth chart, and his interaction with the cosmos, you know, how this movie expressed that, and how the cosmos right now in its present form is describing an archetype theme dealing with fatherhood, you know. And it's just no coincidence how things line up mathematically, you know, and in sync with a pattern that existed when he was born. Like, you know, this cat was born, he's a Virgo. His sun is at 23 degrees of Virgo, and he has a chain in his chart, like in the later degrees of his number line between 22 and 29 degrees Virgo. This is a very high concentration of planetary energy. Consequently, a similar pattern exists in the creation date of this film. You know, and it was some major delays, some serious Saturn and Scorpio energy going on with his ability to bring it into activation, into manifestation. And, you know, above all, I have to look at it from the cosmophysic perspective, because nothing that goes on in life, be it a creative endeavor, a movie, a fictional tale, or a sure enough conveyance of positive energy, thought, and upliftment, you know, regardless of the intention, is going to be built with the energy that exists at the moment that it arrives, you know, that it is being made. And in October of last year, October the 5th of last year, Saturn entered Scorpio, and it was the beginning of a new phase of fatherhood all over the planet. But to bring it and make it specific to our point of focus, then we apply it to ourselves. And Saturn represents transformation and a rebirth thing, you know, through a healing process. And, I mean, pardon me, that's Pluto, right? Pluto represents the surgical operations and the ability of the body to reweave itself, and life itself to regenerate. Okay, and thus, you know, from it comes the attributes of Scorpio and Osiris, or Wasir, however you want to pronounce that. And the father image, you know, Saturn is the archetype of the father, because it deals with responsibility, and it deals with, you know, ever improving and ever building upon circumstances. You know, but in other language, from a different perspective, you can also look at it as you know, a message to fathers everywhere, and the father in your own self that deals with maintenance and time management and structure, right? So when I look at the motions of these planets in Will's birth chart, you see his sun is straddled mathematically at the 22nd degree by Pluto, and then at the 24th degree by Saturn and Neptune. And these are the key players right now. See, in other words, these were the key players at his moment of birth in 1968, right? September the 15th, 16th, 1968. Those were that natal promise, that pattern was right there. So now this pattern re-emerges in the motion of the transiting sky, the current sky, and he wants to come out with this movie, you know, and it's like, you know, people, like I said, people they manifest it willingly or unwillingly, be it a actual historic event that goes on this plane of events, or a creative endeavor that is actually plotted and planned. It is all created by the energy that exists at the time of its inception. You know, you only have to work with what you have to work with at that time, you know. At one time, all we had to work with was trees, and we built boats, you know, out of wood. And now we have iron to work with, and aluminum and titanium, and we employ all of these other things now. So it is the same when you look at how they made this movie. When Will was born, he had Pluto at 22. This movie has the North Node at 22, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is symbolic of, you know, widening the mind. Thus it deals with travel and or religion and or doctrine and or higher education. So, you know, the fact that it had a foreign appeal, you see, the fact that it had an ethnic foundation to it, man, that we could call ours. It wasn't clouded with a bunch of make-believe characters. You know what I'm saying? The cast was very low, but the message came across. The fact that the Mars for the making of this movie is in Gemini at the 24th degree. He has Neptune at 24 degrees Scorpio, so he's activating the inspiration factor because Neptune deals with inspiration. It also deals with fear. And Saturn in Aries deals with lessons and courage. That's what Saturn plus Aries equals, lessons and courage. So that's right on his Neptune line, the fear of death line. You know, Neptune is right there, and then with Mars activating it with, you know, in the chart of the creation of this movie or the date of this movie, July 25th, 2K11, Mars was activating that. Mars is also courage, and Gemini was in Gemini by transit, so that did with the message. So there was a message of courage, also a motivating message or some motivating words going on with that. And let me see what else he had. You know, and his natal Mars, 26 degrees Leo, right, which is like a semi-quincunx aspect to where Venus was when this movie was being made, but it was dealing with protecting and fatherhood, parentage, the home, domesticity. So the whole movie related that simply through its visual. You know, there was a scene in the home. It was him activating as the father. Now, which goes back to the mutual reception of Saturn and Pluto in the current sky, reflecting what was going on in his, you know, that because Saturn deals with fatherhood and responsibility, and Pluto deals with regeneration or revivification, reviving this, right? You know, the message of the movie was aimed towards reviving fatherhood in the community, and it's not coincidental that the vibration manifests itself through a window period of time, because right before that, y'all had the brother Lennon Honor.
Yes, Lennon.
His name was. Pardon me?
Yeah, brother Lennon Honor.
Right. He came through with the exact same message.
Yes, he
you
did.
See what I'm saying?
The day that the movie
having a responsibility to teach their children how to overcome their fear.
Yes, he did.
Hello?
Wow. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the synchronicity in it all, as well as in the heavens, is something that I'm looking at with that regard. When I look at Will's chart, Pluto stands on top of the sun, which stands between Pluto and Neptune and Saturn. And Saturn in Aries talks about teaching courage and lessons in courage. On the Neptune and Scorpio, Neptune plus Scorpio says fear of death. Will was born with that in the sky. Verbally, it can be literally translated by any elementary delineator in cosmophysics or astrology of AKA. All right? So the fact that these elements come into play right now when he releases this movie is, you know, absolutely ridiculous. You know, I mean, it's like undeniably no such thing as a coincidence. If you take that frame of mind, it's undeniably the intelligence of the cosmos manifesting through the endeavors of the incidents here on the face of this earth. So that's the mind that I give it. All right? Now, what's deep is even when you come further down in the chart, you're looking at the chart for the making of this movie, Neptune is in Pisces, and this is very important when it comes to movies, when it comes to the media, especially those things that deliver a visual impact and that inspire and that are a product of the imagination, and they also give life and light to more imagination, you know, and it's like it breeds, it festers if you want to look at it in a negative, but it breeds and it thrives in the